Oh yeah, easy.
Which way, this way?
Okay, to lift, we go this way.
All right.
We don't have to rush, you know.
Yeah.
Working slowly, we'll do the job anyway.
Oh, it's going now. Look, it's really going up now. Who are the people who would have been doing this treading?
Most of the time they use blind people.
Blind people?
Yes.
Why was that?
To secure the whole process, because if you tune inside too much, you will feel some kind of attraction for the emptiness.
You mean that if you're blind, you don't look down 300
Right.
foot and see the terrible fall that awaits you?
Right.
That's very sympathetic of them, isn't it?
Yeah, it was one way to they can serve the community.
Do you think
They
they would
was
have...
working for God, you know, building cathedrals.
Do you think they worked barefoot?
Oh yes, because they didn't have shoes at the time.
It's going up now, isn't it? Look at that. See? You can feel the tug. You can feel there's more weight on it now, but
Yeah.
it's not too difficult.
Whoa.
Shall we stop now? So we turn around and put them down again?
No, cut the rope. Faster.
Oh, this is no problem.
Yeah, slowly.
Oh,
We stop. A small problem here.
everything seemed so safe and easy until this apparently solid machine suddenly began to come apart at the axle.
Michael, Franck, pouvez descendre et sécuriser l'axe. Il est en train de partir.
So the axle comes out and
Yes,
the
and
wheel
we can go
drops
down
out.
to the 30-meter down.
I suddenly got an inkling of what being a treadmill worker must have been like. Imagine being 200 foot up in the air and blind and suddenly realising things are starting to fall apart.
Non, celui-là, il va pas venir tant que tu l'as pas
This
bloqué.
all may seem pretty safe, like a couple of hamsters going around in a wheel, but when you're in here it doesn't feel like that at all. You have no control over this thing. You can't just stop it and break it, and you can't just put your hand out to stop it either, because you're frightened that as it whips past one of these things it's going to slice your fingers off. And when you try to bring it to a halt, the damn thing just keeps moving and moving and moving, and it's wet and it's slippy. So when it's just going along fine, well, that's just like you're on holiday. But as soon as there's a problem, is it okay now?
Yeah, now it's pretty safe. We can finish the jobs.
Okay, let's
Have
get them
no
down.
problems. We're going down that way.
Yeah, I'm keeping my hands in my pockets.
After
now.
you, gentlemen.
Just getting the rhythm right. That's difficult, isn't it, for two people? I feel really nervous now.
Really?
I can hear the creaking on my left ear.
No, come on. Okay. It's the safest machine we have ever made, but we made only one.
Thank you for that. Finding out about some of these jobs has been bad enough, but which job's on the very lowest rung? And could I actually do it? Well, the Middle Ages certainly had its fair share of dangerous and disgusting work. Being an arming squire could be menial, dirty, unhygienic, and you could get killed. But it was a job that could lead to fame and fortune. Having been bitten, I can tell you that leech collecting sounds worse than it is. And practicing medieval medicine, although messy, was at least better than being a patient. Building cathedrals had its hazards, though your handiwork would outlive your lifetime by up to 100 decades. But for me, the very worst job is one which comes from the main industry of the Middle Ages, the wool trade. If your name's Fuller, it's highly likely that at some time in the dim and distant past, one of your ancestors was involved in the job of fulling. And if manual labour is something you do with your hands, then fulling is pedal labour, because you did it with your feet. And P is the operative word, because in order to make wool soft and malleable, it had to be trodden for at least 2 hours underfoot in stale urine. In the Middle Ages, wool became the country's biggest export. By 1300, there were 15 million sheep, almost 3 times the human population. So fullers would have been thick on the ground too, a vital link between weavers, dyers and cloth merchants. You could earn up to 3 times as much as a field labourer, but the work was so unpleasant that this must have been little comfort. When raw wool's spun and woven into a loose weave fabric, it's left dirty. The grease is needed to ease the weaving process. It's after that the fuller has to turn this rough cloth into something more usable. Well, this is fine. Why don't they just put this on?
Well, if you need to finish it, this is, when you cut this, it will fray.
Yeah.
And it's greasy.
It is pretty greasy, isn't
And
it?
you can make it better. It's a felting process. It closes the fibres together.
Oh yeah, you can see that they are actually
You can
pretty
see
widely
daylight through
apart
that.
here.
Yes.
Whereas here, smooth and it just smells like
Much
cloth.
cleaner.
So how does this fulling actually work?
You need water, you need something to take the grease out, and you walk about on it a lot. Do you want to have a go?
Oh, I'll definitely have a go. I'm really up for this. Okay, this is the upside. I get this nice, vaguely amusing costume to wear, and the basic job of fulling is okay. It's just a bit boring. You're just marching up and down in a vat for 7 or 8 hours at a time. The downside is that I'm marching up and down in this. This is genuine human urine. This isn't a television trick or anything. It's not orange juice or dyed water. It's about 20 litres of stale urine here. If this was petrol, it would be enough to get me from here to Newcastle. And it's been kindly donated by our production team over the last couple of weeks. Thank you very much, guys, for your help with the experiment. You ready, Ruth?
I think so.
Then let's get into it. God, it's heavy.
Smells bad.
Oh, God, that smells. Oh,
They've been keeping that.
It's like raw meat. Oh. I'm really not looking forward to this very much. It's every time you breathe in.
Makes your eyes water.
The flies are starting to gather around. It is quite disgusting, isn't it? Well, I suppose we better take our shoes off.
Well, I've got my shoes off. I have to tuck my skirt up.
I think you should, love.
It's not going in there.
Oh, it's every time you get a deep breath of it, you forget what you're doing and breathe in deep and woof, it hits the base of your stomach and you want to chuck.
Yeah, let's go. It's cold.
Oh, I could have warmed
It's
it
not
up for
warm.
us, couldn't it? Oh. Was there a special technique involved in this?
Well, the important thing is to get as much movement as possible. So dancing is probably more effective than walking, but basically you keep moving.
Yeah.
And every now and then you have to stop and move the cloth.
The important thing is not to breathe.
It's pretty vile.
Oh, it is quite disgusting.
Yeah.
The reason they used urine is that when it had been left for a week or two, it decomposed to produce a rich source of ammonia, which is perfect for removing the grease. They didn't have public loos at the time, so part of the job would have involved collecting it from door to door. How long did they have to do this for? Was it really 7 or 8 hours?
It depends very much on the size of the cloth, but it can, yes. I mean, it can take a long time if you want a really heavy finish. The faster you move, the warmer you get. But I don't know what you do about upset stomachs.
Well, the trouble is, when you start to move fast, you start to breathe more heavily. Do you think it's changing the colour of the cloth at all?
It's certainly changing the colour of the liquid. You can see the grease is coming out. It's gone very cloudy. It's taking the grease out. The lines in it are going.
It's like a bizarre version of a washing powder advert. This.